like I said, these are being pre-recorded, so I don't have time to write a script, get strange gameplay, edit them together, get the comic panels I want. But I do really want to talk about the new Doctor Strange that is coming out. The first 5 issues are out, and that is pretty much the first arc that has happened. But it looks like he's going back to Earth eventually, and which means he'll meet Wanda as the new Sorcerer Supreme. But I think this is really cool. This. So I'm just doing a review of it. Okay, now we can get into it. First off, basic review. Is this worth buying? Yes, but also, I am a little biased. He's one of my favorite superheroes of all time. I think he's awesome. So, maybe you should think about that before you take my word for it entirely, but it's pretty cool. Now, the premise for this one comes right off the bat of Doctor Strange in Asgard. He is in Asgard. He is the Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard, and there is a problem. There's this he essentially has to be a diplomat in the first one, where this ancient dark elf who wanted to kill all the children, he was a sorcerer, he wanted to kill all the children in the Nine Realms. They found his corpse, but they still need to behead him. But the dark elves don't want him to. They don't want the angels of heaven to behead him because it would go against all the traditions. They may hate the guy, but he is still royalty, all their culture and everything. So he's got to be diplomatic about it. And what he comes to is, okay, I will set up a stasis field so he doesn't wake up, and then I will open the coffin, will determine whether it is him, and will kill him, and then give him back to you for your rituals. All we gotta do is behead him. And so that's what happens, but before you can get the stasis field fully set up, he comes out. He comes back to life. It's one of those moments, and sorry, I didn't give you a spoiler warning. Well, thank God I only spoiled the first book, and I gave you the premise of it, so that way you can read it for yourself. Now here's your spoiler warning. This guy uses other magic. He's like, oh, you use Agamotto, I've heard of them, blah blah blah. I use scythe magic. My magic is based off what could have been and not what is. Whereas Strange just uses magic that is fueled by the everyday motions of stuff. Like everyday motions, Agamotto, his is what could have been and not what is. And that's pretty much what it comes to. He uses these Asgardian bracelets or whatever, super demon form or whatever, never really explained too well, but it's cool as hell. It scares him off, and then they go and after him. In the third issue, the third book, in the third book, they went to heaven, right? They go after him, but it has to do with how his magic works. Sorry, I'm having a really hard time explaining it. What could have been? He made her promise to kill her daughter, didn't kill her daughter, and because she didn't kill her daughter, he now has a... Wait. She was supposed to give him her daughter, promised him her daughter, and now that she didn't give it, what could have been is a daughter raised by him, which means he can, create a copy of her of what could have been a daughter raised by him, right? So she has a dark angel on his side, is pretty much how it goes, and they fight, and then they go, oh, they're off to heaven to kill all the children, so they killed all the children, and attacked all the people who could have become children, all the males, who they're just a breed, pretty much. And it's like, oh my god, what is gonna happen? He's got all of these reinforcements, and then I think I glazed over some details, but in the final issue, they're fighting. Doctor Strange has found this orb that he's trying to figure out how to open. And in a surprising turn of events, he gives up. Verboten, which is the mage, he just gives up. He says, you know what, I'll surrender as long as you don't open that orb. He cannot remember what's in that orb, but as long as it never gets opened, he'll surrender, he'll back down. And Doctor Strange convinces him to give up all of his desires for revenge on one condition. And we don't get to know what that one condition is, because as soon as Doctor Strange leaves, he goes to tell Angela what it is, and he's like, The problem is I can't remember. I can't remember what I promised him. I have a feeling that something bad is going to come to Midgard. And like the emotional plots of this, like you're like, oh well, it's just action. No, it has to do with him like accepting his role as Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard, and not because throughout the entire thing there's this motif of I just want to leave, I want to go home, right? Things like that. He's constantly trying to find a way back to Midgard, to Earth, and that's pretty much the broad strokes, the big strokes of the arc. But again, I think it's very good. I like the art, I like the story, I like the character. Obviously, I think Doctor Strange is awesome. Angela's in it. If you like Angela, she's here for a lot. It has to do a lot with heaven and Asgard. It's more of an Asgard storyline than it is a magic storyline, which is fun. Because I like to see Doctor Strange in a new place. So often they're just like, new magic, throw at him. And like, yeah, they did the same thing. It's a new magic, learn how to play around it. But like most of it wasn't, oh my gosh, I have to learn how to counter this magic. He's just doing his own magic. They're having a magic fight. But it's a story about Asgard instead of a story about Doctor Strange and his ability of magic. And it's a really cool thing to put him in a new scenario where he does something new, because I haven't seen that before. Outside of like Doctor Strange of Asgard. But that was more about Doctor Strange learning the magic of Asgard, trying to be able to channel it through him using the spell. You know, if you read that, or I might have done a review, I don't know. Whatever. Sorry, this one wasn't scripted or anything, or no gameplay, it's just me, but that's what I got for you. That's pretty much it. And I will see you later. Wet Willy!